we go. Oh my goodness. Hello. It's Nikki Darling here. We are live on another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. It's so exciting. 2 weeks out after the Washington State swap meet. And I think I am just fully feeling recuperated. I say that with a kind of face because there's, I think, not 100%, but we're like 90%. You never really fully recover. You're always a little bit changed after something like that. But definitely a positive experience overall. And today we are going to be talking to some of the stars, some of the swap meets biggest supporters that really help to, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, they're in different ways. Each of these people helped to push along the vision, energy, effort of the Washington State swap meet. So we're going to get to talk to each one of them and see and hear about the swap meet through their eyes, and see what it was like for them. Because I know what it was like for me, but I don't have any perspective whatsoever what it was like for anybody else. So I'm loving hearing the stories of what it was like for other people. If you can see, I'm in a pretty awesome space today. Look at this atmosphere behind me. It is pretty cool. I want to say this is my house. It is not. I really wish this awesome green couch was in my living room, but sadly it is not. But fortunately, it is not too close, not too far from where I live, right? It's like maybe 3/4 of a mile away from where I live in East Wenatchee at a place that just opened back in February called Smart Nutrition. And it's, if you blink, you miss it. Because I did several thousand times probably. And I, to my own regret at this point, because now I love this place. It's called Smart Nutrition for a reason, because it gives you nutrition in a very smart, and it actually should be called Yummy Nutrition. Can we change the name, guys? It should be called Yummy Nutrition, because it has like very yummy, like right now I'm drinking a protein coffee. Like just those words together are like, you make Nikki Darling very happy. Protein and coffee together. But on top of that, it has white chocolate and it's low sugar. So protein, low sugar, and coffee all in one. And and there's much more where that comes from. They do like energy teas, which had actually unknowingly became a big part of my story through the swap meet weekend. And we'll talk about that a little bit. They've got protein donuts. And we'll see what flavors they're serving up today. They've got the yummy protein waffles, and my favorite, the protein churros. And my kids love all of them. So, yeah, isn't that a plus? I bring home, I'm like, you want a donut? We're going to have a donut for dinner. And they're like, yeah, donut for dinner. Little do they know it's got like carrots and protein and a donut for dinner. Yes. This is my hashtag messy mom tips. Go to Smart Nutrition, pick up a protein donut if your kid's being a little crazy, and tell them that they're going to have a donut for dinner. Uh, all right, I'm flying solo today. Just Grayson is taking the day off. He needs some more recuperating time, and so it's just me. And I actually kind of am going easy peasy lemon squeezy. So with that in mind, we'll look forward to talking to. I'm working on saying their names right because I talk for a living, and I really do like to get people's names correctly. But they know that I am a gringo, and I have no problem with that. But it's Selena and Cirillo. And that's my way of saying it. And they say it much more beautifully than me. And I'm sure my friend Rafael Aguilar from La Paris says it much better than I do. But I love them so much, no matter if I could say their names properly or not. So we'll get to talking with them a little bit about this beautiful establishment, Smart Nutrition. And this, where I'm sitting, is just half of it. With the couch and the wall that you'll see when I introduce our first guest, and the coffee bar, which is right to my left. Lots of natural light. It's right on Valley Mall Parkway. This is why you'll miss it. Okay, so right to my left, if you keep going, is 7-Eleven. Now you're thinking, what? 7-Eleven? They're right next to 7. Yes. Right across the street that you see right out these windows, that's Joe's. Now you're really confused, right? Yeah. Next time you drive by, you'll see it. It's adorably quaint. And when you go inside, it's even better. And then I'll tell you what's on the other side, apart from this, when we get to talk with them in a little bit. But for right now, I want to tell you and remind you that the What's Up Wenatchee podcast is a fully community-supported broadcast. We do this every Friday live. We try to get out at a different community, either organization or local business, between 12 and 2. And we do this live, so you can interact with us. I'm going to put up our interactive text line, which you can text in 509-795-5602. We're on 7 different streaming pages and platforms. So we're on 5 different Facebook pages: Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So wherever you're at, we're in the comment section. It works, I want to say, like 65%, 70% of the time. We're trying to work on it with StreamYard, which is who we use to stream it to multiple platforms. But if you put a comment in this comment section, it should come to us in the back end. So we should be able to see all of those different comments and be able to highlight them here on the screen, like, hey, Smart Nutrition, and then be able to answer you back in that comment section as well, or interact with you live here on the air. So we would love more interaction from you through that comment section or through our interactive text line. We also have a subscription. We kind of like to call it a family, a What's Up Wenatchee family, a community, through Supercast. And there's different subscription levels, and we give out exclusive content, exclusive interviews. We do ticket giveaways. So we're working on some of that for the fall into the Christmas season. Don't forget that the Give Miss Project is coming back this December. So we'll have more information on that because we're going to be out on Make a Difference Day, which is October 28th. So we'll be soliciting some crafts and DIY cards and gifts to include in our Give Miss packages this year for our 31 December recipients of the Give Miss Project. And we do things like that through our Supercast community. So if you would like to give, It starts at like a $5 monthly subscription to be included in that community. WUW for What's Up Wenatchee, wuw.supercast.com. And we would love for you to be a part of that. And so now we're going to get into talking a bit about the Washington State Swap Meet and about other people's experience, because last week I talked a lot about my own experience, and we talked to Lacey about her experience and Grayson about his experience. So from the organizer, event planners area and our perspective, we had one perspective, but I know from another area, from either a vendor, sponsor, supporter, attendee perspective, it must have looked completely, utterly different. And from the beginning, I have to thank Trina Elmes from the City of East Wenatchee, and she's going to be with us a little bit later on in the program. And the reason I have to thank her so much is because I don't think I would have even gone for this leap if it wasn't for her, because this idea had been percolating for years. And she was the one who was just like, hey, let's do it in September. And this was in April. So we're talking April, May, June, July, August, September. So we're talking like 4 or 5 months out. And she's like, yeah, we could do it. You could. She didn't say, she was like, you could do it. And I was like, can I do it? She's like, you can do it. And that was, I guess that was all I needed, was somebody like her to be like, you can do it. And hey, I can help you. And I believe in you. And that was that. I guess I'm a sucker for support. Because that's what it took. And she encouraged me to fill out and apply for the tourism funds through the City of East Wenatchee, which I did. And I went in front of the East Wenatchee Events Board to talk about the swap meet. And I have to admit that the project was, even though I had been thinking about it for years, the project hadn't been tangible in my mind and on paper for very long at that point. So I think I was still formulating the granular details of the overall event and festival, and there was a lot of gaps. And I can admit that. And since we were just thrown into the process so quickly. And so I went into this board meeting and gave the answers that I best could, with as much gumption and positivity and ambition as I could. And one of those people in that board meeting that had questions, concerns, comments, wanted clarity, helped me find clarity by asking those questions and pushing. You know, you think that sometimes support comes in the form of just, you can do it, like Trina did. Like, that's one form of support, and people need that kind of support. But I also need support in the form of, you need to look at this. Like, I need a mirror. You know, I need people to do it in a gentle way sometimes, where it's like, are you sure this is going to work? Or let's take a look at your numbers, or let's see where your break-even point is. Like, is this even, are you even able to do this? Or is this, how hard is this going to be for you? in the next 4 months of your life? And I had not at that point answered those questions for myself. So going through this process was actually very useful and very helpful for me. So one of those people that was in that group that helped me get that perspective was Robb Tidd, who sits on that board because he's part of the East Wenatchee City Council, and I did not know him very well at that point in time, but since then, has become I think a good friend and a mentor and actually a good inspiration for me, because he is one of our city's really just willing leaders and willing volunteers and willing philanthropists in energy and knowledge and and tact. I think that's a pretty good word to describe Robb Tidd. So I'm going to let you come on into the program, and hopefully that was a really good introduction for you.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You bet. I was wondering if we might call your podcast today, What's Up East Wenatchee, because that's where we are today. And being a city council member, I know that I would be thrilled if today was the East Wenatchee podcast.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Officially today is What's Up East Wenatchee.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We could do it. Yeah, we could do it. So how long have you been on the East Wenatchee City Council?
You know, I never thought about being political at all. However, there was a vacancy on the board or on the city council in 2019. I thought I would throw my name in the hat because this is my home. This is my community. I wanted to get involved. I think because of my real estate background, that was why I was chosen over the other gentleman who was running, who I honestly thought was much more experienced than I, yet they chose me, and I've been on the city council since then.
Have you enjoyed it?
I have. Of course, you know, we're a smaller community than Wenatchee. Yeah. We don't have a lot of the same issues that they have to address. I think our biggest obstacle is annexing more into the city. Mm-hmm. I think that's really the primary thing. That we have our other issues, but nothing to the extent that Wenatchee does. And yes, I've enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I think it's different than what people realize it is. And if you go to a lot of city council meetings, you start to realize that. And so, and different city council people who sit on the city council have different roles, you know, because they bring different personalities and experience, like you said. So yeah, and it is a different community than Wenatchee. So how did you end up on the events board?
All of these city council members typically are asked by the mayor to sit on certain boards. Sports is something that's always been in my background, so it certainly made sense for me to be on the East Wenatchee events board because a lot of the events are sports related.
Oh, okay.
However, that does morph into other events, like the knife behind it 100%. I wish I'd had more time to physically help this year. I am so looking forward to next year and getting more involved.
Well, this year was a time crunch, right? And admittedly, a lot of volunteers, organizations, including the Confluence Rotary that you're very actively involved in, they had resources at other events, you know, mainly Fiestas Mexicanas, and which is a wonderful event. And we did not feel like, as soon as we heard, hey, we're already at Fiestas Mexicanas, we were like, okay, yeah, go, you know, be a part of that. We immediately took on the philosophy of, we believe in collaboration, not competition. And people are like, well, you're up against the fair, you're up against Fiestas Mexicanas, you're up against this. I'm like, great, right? They've got more to do.
That's true.
So you saw that from me from that initial board meeting, that I brought that kind of attitude, that kind of energy and vibe, philosophy to this event. Do you think that made a difference?
I think it did. And the biggest thing that I am so excited about is that, and you mentioned it earlier, you started on this in April.
Mm-hmm.
We had a recap meeting earlier this week, and we're talking about working on this now. So we're going to have 12 months to make this a bigger and better event. And one of the things that came out of this was how can we change things up so that it will draw more people here? And this potential collaboration with Fiestas Mexicanas, I think that is going to make this event 10 times as big as it was this year.
Yeah, that would be an exciting future for the swap meet. And I think an exciting future for Fiestas Mexicanas if we can, meld the two together. So the possibilities are, man, it just makes me so excited. It does. Because they're not everybody was excited about it at first. I brought the idea, and I've had
Anything that's new like this, some people are going to have reservations. They don't have the same vision that you do. I think that after the end, we'll bring something that's going to be fantastic for the community. So I personally am very, very excited about it, and I can't wait till next September.
Yeah, you saw a lot of the process because you came to almost every single planning meeting. Now, I don't know if you did that because like you really truly believed in the project, or if you just wanted to keep a close eye on how it was progressing because of the the city council or the board.
Well, believe me, if I hadn't been in favor of this event, sitting on the East Wenatchee Events Board, I wouldn't have come to the meetings. I felt that this was something that could really, really expand and kind of put East Wenatchee on the map.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for doing that, because the more things that we can do here in East Wenatchee, the more events that we can bring here, it's just going to showcase what we have to offer here in East Wenatchee.
Thank you, Rob. I do appreciate that, because even at one point, I came to a Rotary meeting, and you introduced me to Chris. Is that Chris Cameron?
Yes.
Who is the head of your environmental sustainability committee.
Correct.
And she took interest in the swap meet because we had an eco resource fair. And she even came out to a planning meeting, and I got to introduce her to the event. And even though you guys weren't really super involved, but she got other Rotaries involved, and you were represented. Like the Rotary and the Bee Pollinator Highway Project was represented at the swap meet. So you initiated that, which was cool. Like, I don't know. To me, it was just, there's so many, I just didn't feel like it was all me, right? I can't take credit for it. I threw things out there. I just threw a million ideas and a million things out there. And I was like, hey, you wanna, hey, you wanna, hey, you wanna, hey, you wanna, hey, you wanna. You were there at Pangborn's Festival of Flight when I was all dressed up in my get up, my pinup girl, and who walked by but Joel Myrene, who runs the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. Do you even remember this interaction?
I don't.
You were helping me with the tent and everything. He walked by with his kiddo.
That's right.
And you watched this happen live. Him and I were talking. We started talking about the swap meet. Now, this is like at another event, right? I am emceeing Pangborn's Festival of Flight. You're standing there helping me. I start talking to Joel about swap meet. I, in the moment, have a flash idea. And I was like, how can we promote I'm not even thinking about promoting swap meet. I'm like, how can we promote your event, the Vinyl Expo that's happening in October? How can we promote that at swap meet? And he was like, I don't know. We got a lot going on. That's just Joel, no, let me think about it. And I was like, how about we pair up with Nancy Barrett from Class with a Glass, and we do a paint on vinyl activity at the swap meet in the kids zone if you'll donate some vinyl records. And he was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. And you saw it happen live. Like I literally just had that idea, and I went to, and you know what happened? I followed up on that. I followed up with Nancy. I went and saw her. She's like, yeah, I'm in. I'll do it. I went back to Joel. I said, Nancy's in. I don't think he thought it was serious. Most people don't think I'm serious when I come up with these ideas. But the difference is I follow through.
You do. Not only do you have the ideas, but you don't just let them go off on a tangent. You will follow through to make sure that they come to fruition. And that is a wonderful attribute. I know that because of these ideas and your follow through, next year is going to be even better. So I know I've said it before, but I'm excited about it.
Thank you. Last, I'll let you get out of here, even though I really like chat. What'd you get? Oh, what did you get?
This is the first time I've been here.
Yeah.
Well, you did
what do
know
you
this,
think?
but it is. I think it's wonderful. I actually got the evergreen drink, and it is fabulous. And it has a lot of vitamins and other great things in it.
It tastes good.
I'm feeling more perky already just from.
You kind of look a little bit more perky. That they gave me at the swap meet, because they were just like, here, just take here. I don't know. And at some point they gave me something green, and Cirillo was like, this is some kind of bio something. What was the green thing? Green Boost.
Oh.
And it was still okay. It was a little bit more earthy, greeny, leafy than normal, than something a sweet. And Cyril's like, your cells will be very happy. I was like, man, if I have to start worrying about my cells, this is going to be a very anxious life.
Yep. Well, they've got a wonderful menu here. Yeah. I'm looking forward to coming back and trying everything that's on the menu. But this one here from my first smoothie is just outstanding.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you like it. It's a sweet one. Like it has a little bit of
sweetness to it.
Yeah.
And I just know it's chock full of good things for you. So
that's always better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I drink more of my meals than I eat, just because of the nature of my existence.
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay, last question. I want to know kind of what your general feedback has been of, like, did you get to the swap meet? Because I know you were out and about. You were working with the Wenatchee Wild, and you were over at Fiestas Mexicanas. So it was a very busy weekend for Rotary. But did you get there?
I did not.
Okay. But you heard different things.
I've received a lot of comments from constituents as well as my friends. Everything is positive, and they are looking forward to this swap meet next year. So
anything in particular that they loved that we need to keep?
Anything that was unique besides me? Well, I think the fact that this is the first time that we've ever done anything like this here.
Yeah.
We hear about swap meets in various other parts of the state and other areas, but to actually have it here in our backyard, I mean, that made it so special that people say, hey, are you going to do this again next week? No, but we are going to do it.
Next week. Yeah. Okay. I know I said last question, but it's not every day you get a city councilman sitting across from you. So one of the biggest requests that I got from some attendees, but mostly vendors and a lot of the traveling vendors, is that they want it more often, right? Like they either want it every weekend or every month or every second weekend or whatever. So, but the biggest thing was they want it like down in Pasco, they have a swap meet every weekend from the beginning of the season in April or May all the way to October. A swap meet every weekend. Would that even be possible in East Wenatchee?
I don't know, unless you're willing to give up What's Up East Wenatchee to do this full time. I don't know how we could do it without you, honestly.
Well, versus, I don't know, permits, land, I don't know, things that would have to be approved.
Yeah, it would be a behemoth to do it more often than once a year. Perhaps after next year, maybe that's something we consider, doing it every 6 months and then maybe shortening the term after that. I don't want us to get overwhelmed to the point where we don't do it at all. And I know that you were overwhelmed with a lot of stuff because there was a lot on your shoulders to make it happen.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
I would like to see it happen at least in September of next year. And after that, you and me and everyone that is part of the management team may say, let's do it every 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not ready to take on that behemoth just quite yet. But it is weird to think that it's going to be a whole nother year till it happens again.
Well, this time we can plan even better.
Oh, I'm so ready for it.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you for wanting to be a part of the process and always trying to be a part of the solution. So,
Well, and thank you for having me here today.
Yeah. Enjoy your smoothie.
I will.
All right.
Thanks, Nikki.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take care, Robb. So that is Robb Tidd. He is one of your sitting East Wenatchee City Councilmen and also was on our What's Up East Wenatchee. That is the show today. We've named it What's Up East Wenatchee. No, he was on our swap meet planning board and in part of that East Wenatchee events board that approved the reimbursement grant that I got for the sustainable tourism. So that's nice. That's why we can go forward and say we are definitely having one in 2024. We're already booked. It's the weekend, September 13th, 14th, and 15th. So put it on your calendars now. We're ready for it. And we have a whole year. We did our recap feedback meeting with go ahead, Joel, sit down. You're not on camera yet. I'm just talking. So we had our recap feedback meeting with the planning board on Thursday. So yesterday, Robb was part of that meeting. And it was really good because it wasn't just like, it was so good, everything went great, it was so successful. It was like, yeah, we know what we did right. We don't need to go over all of the things that we did correctly. Let's talk about the things that didn't really go well. Like, that's how I approached it. And some leaders can't do that. Like, they want just the positive feedback and they can't take the criticism. And I'm like, no, like let the vendors come at me with everything they've got, because that is information for me. I want to know everything that they thought went wrong. I want to know what they thought, how I missed the mark as an event planner, as a host, because that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I've made a home for the weekend and I am inviting you into my home, and it is up to me to make it nice, make it a good experience for those vendors. I want to give them welcome bags and have a little gift and some coupons for them to use around town. I don't know. I want to check in on them, make sure they're okay. If they're alone, make sure they can go to the bathroom. I want to make sure that if they have shade or water or I don't know, just whatever. If they're not happy about something, then let's try and mitigate that and see what we could do to make it better. If we can, or just at least be empathetic if we can't. Like just be humans. For goodness sake. I don't know. That's just how I feel. And I know that's how my team feels too, because that's how they acted. I know Lacey was out and about checking in on everybody. Grayson was around on the golf cart, checking in on vendors. We all did our rounds. We all checked in on them. The only one piece of feedback that I got was that I wasn't able to make it around to say hello to all the kids vendors. And they're right. I didn't. I made it around. I did rounds regularly to all the regular vendors, but the kids vendors, I missed the mark. So I feel bad. Awesome. They showed up like ready to go, like with banners, and like some were professionally printed banners and like square payment systems and business cards. Like they were really young entrepreneurs, like ready to go. So I just appreciated the effort that they put into being there and how excited they were to be a part of the swap meet. And it was a huge draw. The parents were excited. Everybody else around them was very happy with the experience. So the fact that I didn't get to go and say hello to every single kids vendor, it hurts my heart a little bit. So just know that it wasn't intentional. I was being pulled in so many different directions. And if I could have, I would have. And I knew that. I knew that I was not making it over there. It was like, can't get there. Right? Like it was like itching my brain, itching my brain. But I don't mind that, like, I don't mind constructive criticism. There's a boundary. You don't want to get like beat up, right? But I like the feedback and the information, because then that is information that you can use to then improve and grow. And that's exactly what Robb was saying, that's where we're at, where we had such a truncated amount of time to do this. And not only like people are like, this is pretty good for a first year event. And I'm like, screw you. Like, this is pretty good, period. Like not for a first year event. Like this is just pretty darn good for any event. Like not just for a first year event. Okay. If this was a second year event, I'd be like, this was pretty good. This was pretty good. So next year we have a lot of room for improvement. But there's so much more room for possibility. And that is really, really exciting, guys. Isn't that really exciting? So we would love anybody who wants to get involved with the Washington State Swap Meet in any way, because we are going to grow this year. And we are going to work on a collaboration with Fiestas Mexicanas for next year. And maybe, just maybe, build upon our collaboration that we already have with the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. We'll see. But the guy who knows all about that and who is the brainchild of the Vinyl Expo has been on the program before, but was out there doing his thing, selling some t-shirts. We have between me and my husband, we got a beanie and a t-shirt. So I think we have to mix match. I have to wear his t-shirt and beanie one day and then like hand it off, and then he's gonna wear the beanie and t-shirt another day. We can't, we got a full outfit is what I'm saying. We got a full outfit. We will eventually.
With all the stock I have at home right now.
Okay. So here's a challenge. Before the Vinyl Expo, we'll get completely outfitted, and then maybe it'll be maybe we'll do like some weird Halloween makeup or something. And it'll be like your Halloween promo card or something like that. Productions goes vinyl gore. I don't know. I'm just making things up. I didn't say all my ideas were good. All right, Joel, thank you for coming on the program
of course.
again. Yeah. And honestly, you did not want to be a part of the swap meet. I'm gonna call you out, man. First, okay. When did I first approach you about swap meet? I don't know. It was probably, when was the first Vinyl Expo? March?
First one was May. So
May.
We probably talked in April or May or March, probably March or April. We probably talked at some point. And then I was on the podcast before the Expo in May. Yeah.
And I went, I got an idea. And you went, got an idea. Okay. And I went, because I knew you were thinking about doing a second Vinyl Expo.
Yeah.
Within 6 months or within the next year before doing another one in May.
Yeah, because after the first one went off in May, and it went really well. I was kind of toying with the idea of doing it again or waiting, and there was enough vendors even like on the wait list kind of queue.
Yeah.
To make it worthwhile to do it again. And so I think then we probably talked after the first Vinyl Record Expo about.
We did.
Yeah.
I know we did, because I was like, let's do this, like your mid Vinyl Expo as part of the Washington State swap meet. And you were like, no. Like flat out, no. No. And I said the same thing to Ron Evans. I love Ron. Okay. Ron runs the Comet, and he is partnering with you for the second.
Yeah.
He helped you out a lot with the first one, but now he's like fully partnering with you for this next one. And so kind of I went to him and I was like, hey, do you want to get the Comet or radar station or involved with the swap meet? And he's like, no. Flat out, no. And I was like, well, what about the Vinyl Expo? I know you're getting. He's like, well, we're going to be really involved. I'm going to be really involved with the Vinyl Expo. I was like, yeah, okay. Why don't we do the Vinyl Expo at swap meet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to Joel. Joel, no. The answer was it was a flat out no. So what was going through your mind at that point?
I think I like just in doing the expo, I really like the like independence of just being able to like while it's nice to have like, Ron is super helpful because he's a sponsor and like, he's not technically like a business partner or anything, but I run so many questions by him. He almost like should be, but and so for me, it's easy just to keep it simple, streamlined. Like, okay, I got this venue. If I want to make a decision, I could just make the decision myself. Don't have to go to a board. I can unilaterally do it. I'm not like a tyrant that has to make every decision. And to be honest, it'd be nice.
No, but I get it. Yeah.
More help, but it's kind of felt like I'm, locked into. I really like the one thing about the hall too, where we do the expo. It's an old hall, so like it, if you've ever been to like an old record store, it kind of has that like it's an old building feel.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it. And I am glad that you've a way to tie us in very much just on the spot. I was trying to remember how that idea came up with painting on vinyl. I know it certainly wasn't my idea because I know it wasn't my idea, but now I remember it was at the Pangborn show.
Yeah. I literally just off the top of my head, I was like, yes, let's do
it worked
this.
out really good. That was actually my favorite part of the swap meet.
It was, that was one of the things I didn't get over to see. So I was really glad there was a lot of pictures of it. And Nancy took a lot of pictures, and Carrie over at Class with a Glass. And I saw you and your kiddos vinyl. So it was, it looked like it was really cool.
Yeah.
I want to do more of those.
Yeah.
Like maybe really cool. Like let's do some more of those throughout the year and as co-promotional events for Swap Meet and
I think
Vinyl
she wants
Expo.
to do more. Yeah. I think she definitely wants to do more because she seemed to really like it. So, and I think she works a lot with kids just from following her on Facebook. And so, it seems something they were really into. So, yeah. But to answer your question about being hesitant about initially going to Swap Meet, I'm just, sometimes I'm a weird guy and I like to be able to make decisions on my own,
Hey, well, obviously you being a weird guy does not deter me, right? Like weird is my thing. It's my jam. Like that's why I like you because you're just like a little quirky. Like I'm a little quirky, right? Like I get it. I'm a little weird. And I like that. That's my jive. So obviously that didn't deter me. I believe in what you're doing. I've since the beginning been trying to like weasel my way in somehow. Ron's like, no, Nikki, no. It's not true. But he's got a good handle on it. But I have been I believe in collaboration and not competition. So I wanted to get it involved. Like, why not? This is why, to me, Joel, this is why Swap Meet exists. It exists not as a selfish thing. Like people look at these things and go like, why would she want to do something like this? I don't know, because I live to give back to my community. And I wanted to make some kind of event that reflected that. And so we're trying to bring in tourism, but we're also trying to highlight our own community at the same time. So I figured out a way to freaking do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm not going to be deterred that people are say no the first time. I'm like, no, okay, I'll figure out a way to get you in. And we did. And how was your overall, other than like the paint on vinyl, which was freaking awesome? How was your experience?
It was good. Yeah. I mean, another reason I think I was hesitant maybe is like just with, normal 9 to 5 working, 2 kids, just, home life, taking on another time commitment, and spending a whole weekend is like, it's a lot, to add something else to it, but it was really good. I mean, my whole goal was just to kind of get the word out about the expo. So Friday, I wasn't there in person. We had an informational table, and Saturday and Sunday we were there and passed out a bunch of flyers and got, I think probably we'll end up getting a few vendors from it, and then help some people with like ideas of, people always ask me if I'll buy collections or whatever. And that's not really my thing. Helped a few people into where they should go, and I connected them to some people that might be able to buy some collections. And when
is the next expo? Because it's coming up.
It is Saturday, October 21st.
So almost like a month away. Are you ready?
Yeah, I mean,
ominous.
I feel like I'm very pretty meticulous, detail oriented, and just really kind of overthink things and really want to make sure everything's like lined up pretty seamlessly. So to that extent, I feel like is as best you can. But and vendors are lining up well. I think there's like,
are you charging for vendors this time?
Yeah.
Oh, so, good. Joel decided to make some money this time around, which is nice.
So I think we have about 22 tables so far. We increased the capacity. The capacity last time was 25 tables. This time we did take a stage out from upstairs. So we can do about 35 if we need to. I don't want to go any more than that because that's just too much. You have to let people, move around and stuff. But I think 35 seems to be a pretty good sweet spot. But yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're still taking vendor registrations.
Yeah, have about.
How do you get registered?
Yeah, if people go to social media, Facebook for Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo, or they can, email the Gmail account at Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo at gmail.com, or a direct message on Facebook or Instagram on the Apple Valley pages. And spots are $30 for a full area where you can put your own table. If you want a half table, and we'll provide the table for $30 for a full spot, but if you want a half spot with a half table provided, that's $20. So it's cheap. And we're doing something this year where you can get in an hour early. So admission is free for everyone, and it will hopefully always be free. But if you want to get in an hour early and get like the best selection, you can pay $5. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. And that is Saturday, October 21st.
Yep. And we'll have Aloha Dreams Mobile Espresso out front. So it seems like a perfect time of year to have like, warm drinks and treats and stuff.
Sure.
And so they'll be there. And then Road Trip Records, Mark Pickrell from Screaming Trees, like his kind of collection of, vinyl records. And I'm not sure if he'll bring, his vintage clothing or not. But he's a sponsor. And so is Time Capsule. So they'll be there and they're a sponsor. And then Comet Magazine is a sponsor too. And Ron might have a table with some Comet Magazine and stuff. I'm trying to talk him into selling records, but he's probably like your husband
Of his collection.
I think he would. He's got doubles, but it's that time thing of going through your collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Are you still taking on any sponsorships if people are interested?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. And it's always something for the future too. And I'm seeking sponsorships for a different endeavor that's kind of tied to the Oddfellows Hall. That'll be coming up in November. But for this expo, if people want to reach out for sponsorships too. Yeah. Okay. But I'm working on like the first all ages concert at the Oddfellows Hall in about 21 or 22 years.
Whoa.
So I just
Can you say who it is?
Yeah. It is. So Datura is going to headline.
Right.
And then, so we needed, the idea is doing this. There's not a space for like all ages music in town.
Yeah.
Kids can go to, Pybus or Union Hill or stuff like that. And those are amazing locations. But it's probably not the type of music that like a teenager or young adult wants to see.
Yeah.
So, when I was a teenager growing up and when I was in my early adulthood, there was like, you could rent out, the Oddfellows Hall, which I did for 4 years. I rented it out and did shows. There was the Barn in East Wenatchee. There was the Franklin House. There was all these spots that had all these shows and all these young bands, but there hasn't been a spot for that locally. So I was just waiting for there to be in existence one local like high school age band to get this thing going. Right. So I've been waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
And there's a band from Wenatchee called Icarus. And I think they're all freshmen.
Wow.
And so reached out to them. And so we're really doing this like for them, I don't even know if they know that, but to give them like a real place to play where it, like that show format that we used to have,
Yeah.
And so there's kind of a tie-in with the Vinyl Expo because it's under my business license. And the band that's playing second is called Dryland from Bellingham, and they'll be the featured record that'll be for sale at the Vinyl Expo. And so Icarus is going to open, Dryland will be second, and Datura will play last. And it's all ages, no alcohol, no drugs, no jerks is the rule. So
well,
plenty
cool.
of adult chaperones.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
because I would like that's right up my alley of what Darling Productions does with our events.
Mhm.
Right, we're all family friendly, very positive. Positivity first.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I know it's like kind of a little bit sidetracky, but
no,
I've been, you know,
it's music.
Yeah.
Music, right? Like that's the great connector.
yeah,
Vinyl music. I know vinyl isn't all music,
Mhm.
but that is a great connector for
Yeah.
people, and that's what we talk about a lot in Darling Productions too. Like I know we do other types of things,
Mhm.
right? But karaoke, that's kind of how we got our start.
Yeah.
With going out of the bars and doing family friendly or for the seniors.
Mhm.
For the disabled, like doing different types of
Mhm.
karaoke that was connecting different types of people. So, because music does that, and so to me, it doesn't disconnect at all. Like to me, it all that naturally makes sense that if you were an entity that was doing one to do the other, because back in the 90s, that's what they did.
Yeah, I mean, I've been helping put on shows like that since I was 15, so 30 years now, And granted, I don't do it that much anymore now, but
Oh, I have a feeling that you're gonna end up doing it more and more because you like it and you enjoy it.
It's a time thing though too, but the whole goal is to do a couple of these and then offer up the space for people that want to rent it. The idea, I can't confirm this, but would be low or no cost to rent it.
Yeah.
For younger people that have bands, the barrier is insurance, and event insurance for day of for concerts is you're looking at about $300 a show. So that's the
barrier.
The sponsorships. It's the thing I want to work on with sponsorships. And then so I do have some meetings right now, and I'm kind of lined up with some people to help look into how something like that can work, because you want to keep the cover charge low barrier, pretty low, so that teens and young adults can go to a show like that in a safe space.
Again, let's talk about it. Let's just kind of circle back around to swap meet a little bit. No, it's okay. You did mention Time Capsule is one of your sponsors for the Vinyl Expo, but they were also one of my sponsors for Swap Meet. And they were your neighbor. They were your vendor neighbor.
Oh yes, yep, that was great being next to them.
So, they did a great job, and you had some other interesting, because when you're a vendor and you're kind of stuck in your spot, you end up kind of building your neighborhood around you, right? It's a summer camp. That's awesome. So you had some interesting people around you.
Oh yeah.
Who's to your right?
To my right, it was so they were there Saturday. They were selling kind of like rugs, kitchen stuff, a lot of kitchen stuff.
They came out from Packwood.
Okay.
They had like 40 feet of
a lot of stuff.
These big walks.
Yep.
And strainers. Yeah. Big cooking. Utensils. So they probably didn't talk to you much, because I'm pretty sure unless you spoke Spanish, they probably wouldn't have talked to you.
I did check out a lot of their stuff, but mostly I kind of ended up hanging out with Doug and
Doug and Dan. Doug and Dan.
Time Capsule. Had some good conversations for sure.
Doug, who is one of the owners of Time Capsule, he doesn't get out much, like from the store. Like they live a lot in the store.
When you own something like that,
right? So he was like a kid outside of the candy store, if that makes sense. So they brought a little miniature store of their goods, but you could just see he was just like, I'm over here now. I'm over here, and then we're over here, and I'm like, okay, Doug. He was having a ball. I loved it.
Both of those guys are great. And Kayla came to a little bit on
that she went to. So now that you've experienced it, you've seen the gravity of Swap Meet, and you know that it's only going to grow from this. I'm going to ask you again. All right, I'm just going to
You like to put yourself in really uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do. So hey, you want to have the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo as part of the swap meet?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll say this in the most non-committal way. We'll probably be there. The one thing we actually usually go to the East Coast, like in September, right around the time of the swap meet, but we did not go this year because we went to Nashville in the spring. But if we are around, yeah, I think I probably would. Again, it's just like a time thing. You know, can I spend like a whole weekend there? And it was definitely
He's still
worth it.
thinking too small, guys. He's still thinking too small.
It's because I don't want to. I know I knew you were going to say that too. But I'm actually really happy with where the expo is at. But I felt like this was good. So this is the thing. Like, you know, just as well as anyone, like you can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, but that's like such a small portion of the population you're reaching. You start to do radio, you reach a ton of more people. You do TV, you reach more people. And so I felt this is actually a really good way, the swap meet, to get to reach another segment of the population that you wouldn't reach otherwise. You know, you think you've done a good job promoting, like I thought I did a good job promoting the expo, but you realize if you're only doing certain avenues of stuff, you miss whole populations of people.
Hey, I thought I did a pretty good job of promoting swap meet, and then there were local people who were like, I didn't even hear about it. I'm like, what? Okay.
I don't know how that's even possible that people don't hear about the swap meet. It's because you guys were everywhere. It's
not everywhere, apparently. So yeah. Well,
but yeah, I think we'll probably be there. It just we have to look at what's going on with the family first thing. That's kind of my deal.
Yeah, I gotta family first.
But yeah, it did work out good this year for sure.
Well, I'm glad you had a good experience, and and I'm constantly the thorn in your side going, do more.
I know. I just feel pulled in so many directions.
No. There's absolutely no pressure, and I hope you actually don't feel that.
No, it's all good.
I just really want to support you as much as I can in whatever way possible, because I really do. I know that people resonate with what you are putting out there.
No, thanks. And what you do too. I know people resonate with that too. Yeah. You've done a really good job with the swap meet. So
thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You actually sent me a really nice text message. Like, was it like the weekend before it was all happening? Yeah. And I won't like put you on the spot and read it or anything, but it was just like you were saying that I had done a nice job in the timeline, and man, it's nice to actually get words like that and reassurance like that from people that you respect and people that you know are doing similar things in the community, that they know how difficult it is to actually pull something like this off. So I appreciate that.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Are you still going to perseverate about forgetting to go around to all the kids? All the kids.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Because you're a lot like me in the same way that, I heard one negative comment about the Vinyl Record Expo, and that was that the posters were too small for the show posters that I had displayed. And valid point, by the way. They did make a valid point, but it's just a money thing. I couldn't.
And it'll just go around and around and around in your head.
But I still think about it.
and every single year from now on, the first thing I'm going to do is go and introduce myself to every single kids vendor.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to make that mistake again.
Well, and I'm going to blow up some posters too and start, I can't blow up all 300, because that just cost wise, but I'll start making some bigger. So
yeah,
feedback is good. I know.
Right?
Yeah.
It is good.
Feedback is good.
Thank you. So send me your feedback. No. Thank you for being a part of this. Thanks for coming in. The Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo is Saturday, October 21st. Still got room for some vendor registration. So find them on Facebook, Instagram, or email you.
Yep.
And man, I want to get more involved. Do I have to yell at you? No. Please. No. But seriously, maybe I'll come and do karaoke or something.
We should talk about the show thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to have a post.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there something outside of my wheelhouse? I'll just build another wheelhouse.
Probably not. Yeah.
I just build another wheelhouse. All right, Joel.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
Take
Thanks
care.
for having me.
Oh man. Whew. Whoo-wee. I'm getting toasty. Well, it's because we had to unplug the air conditioner because the sound, I'm like sitting right next to it. So we are broadcasting today from this adorable little shop. It's actually not that little, which I'm going to show you later. It's called Smart Nutrition, and it's down on Valley Mall Parkway. I promised Robb Tidd earlier, he was on the show, that we were going to rename today the What's Up East Wenatchee podcast. Because we are in East Wenatchee. We're talking about East Wenatchee. This shop is in East Wenatchee, Valley Mall Parkway, right across from Joe's. And like right this way is 7-Eleven. And so don't miss it. Try and be purposeful in finding it because they have these protein. I've been drinking a protein coffee. I kind of have to go pee, but that's okay. They have protein donuts and waffles and churros, but their drinks are really best, like smoothies and energy teas and protein coffees. If you want something that's like good for you, going to give you energy, vitamins, minerals, those things that you need anyway, and you're like me and you drink most of your meals instead of eat them, this is an awesome alternative. I want to remind everybody that we are here until 2:00. So we still, I see Trina Elmes in the wings. Please come sit with me, Miss Trina. I really want to take off this sweatshirt. I'm like, I gotta do it. So give me a second. I gotta take my headphones off. Whew. It's happening. Okay. At least I'm wearing the right stuff. Okay. Yeah. Kind of a crazy.
I can't really tell the sun's coming in
the
from
sun.
behind you, so
it's got a weirdness going on. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm wearing Smart Nutrition top today. All right. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, yeah. Today has been there's been such good energy on the show today. And so I want to thank everybody for sending out some good energy. I see a lot of like the hearts. Oh, Dell, thank you for chiming in. And Dinah, I see you guys out there liking stuff. I really appreciate it. Oh. Just need to take a breath. You can always text in on our interactive text line, 509-795-5602. Also, head on over to our community. You can join our subscription line at www.supercast.com. We are at Smart Nutrition today. That's the shirt I'm wearing. Not only do they have this cute like coffee shop area where we're sitting in at this awesome green couch that I'm going to steal and bring home. But they also, on the other side, there's a door and they have a whole like exercise studio, like a floor. And they do the Fit Dance Zumba classes Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Whoops. 6:30 p.m. So come in, you get a drink. As long as you get a drink, the class is free. That's pretty cool. And if you missed like seeing it at the swap meet. They brought out a crew in these shirts and danced or like did their fit dance class on the stage. And then I tried it and did moderately okay, but I don't know the dance steps. Like, so you can learn the dance steps because they do the same kind of dance steps. And then I saw like other people coming and joining in. Like I have this video of this one little girl. She started doing it off to the side because she saw me doing it. Right. And she just kind of was like doing this kind of stuff. And then I had to go away and do something. And by the time I came back, she was full on right in the middle in front of the stage, like doing all the moves. I was like, yes, they got her. So we'll talk with Selena and Cirillo, who own this Smart Nutrition in just a little bit. But earlier I had stopped to talk about Trina Elmes, who works with the City of East Wenatchee, who really was the catalyst for the Washington State swap meet. And, I had this idea and it was there, and we had started doing some work together on a couple of other events. And I don't know, it was like, she's like, yeah, we want to work with people to be supportive on events. So like, you have any ideas? Like, well, I got this idea. I was like, yeah. You were just like so excited about it, and never once like faltered in like, you can do it, Nikki. Like, you can do it in 4 or 5 months, and encouraged me to apply for the grant through the East Wenatchee Events Board, through the Travel and Tourism. And I don't know, it's just been a really good colleague, friend, mentor, all of those things through this process. Just me in the kidney. Sometimes
I don't know about that.
Sometimes it's been punching me in the kidneys. Sometimes it's been patting me on the back. Sometimes it's like punching me in the face. Get this done. No, but honestly, Washington State swap meet would not have happened if it wasn't for you initiating me and pushing me off the cliff. That's a true statement.
And I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to bring that idea to me, because when you did tell me about it, you were very hesitant.
So
you did not want somebody else to steal your idea.
Right.
So I'm glad that you let me push you off the cliff.
Well, because this wasn't the first time that I, one, had brought this idea to light, and two, I've had that happen before. Brought ideas that people have gone and taken and run with. So yeah, I knew that this idea had merit, and I didn't want it to go into another person's hands.
Yeah.
So I was, very protective of it. And not so much anymore of like that I'm going to lose it or anything like that. But I'm not so protective of the intimate details of it, because I really feel like it will grow as a community event depending on which community entities and organizations want to get involved.
For sure.
Yeah. Why did you think that the swap meet was going to work?
I mean, working in events, I've, seen a lot of different ideas. Wings and Wheels used to have a little swap meet component to it that never really grew, but it was only for car parts. So, and I've been looking for something else to try and bring to the community, like a new event. And, as a city, it's myself and I have a part-time assistant. I can't run all the events.
Right.
That there's just not enough time in the day. And so I really thought that something like that in the baseball field there is a great location because it's visible as people drive by on Grant Road. It was just an instant, yes, this would work.
Yeah.
As long as, it's definitely its own demographic. And as long as we can get into that demographic, like, you're golden.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was such a great event but that was only like your pinky toe that you dipped into it. So
I'm glad you realized that. That's another thing about you is you have always kind of been like, you got potential, kid. Like, even though we're like friends, you know, like you're just like, yes, like you're gonna go far, kid. You know, I can see that in you as a friend. You never stifle potentiality in me. You know, I can only say that as my experience, and I'm sure you're like that with other people as well, but I can only speak from my own experience that, like, man, I'm like, Trina really believes in me. And like, I actually believe her.
Good. You should. Everybody needs a friend that builds them up. So, I mean, and especially stuff like this, it benefits everybody. It doesn't just benefit, you know, me working for the city and your company, but it benefits the whole community. It brings in the tourism dollars and helps everybody. It's a win-win. So,
right. Yeah. And I don't want everybody to think that we didn't have our dissension points, because we definitely did. I still remember the look on your face when I came to you and I said, I think we're going to name it the Washington State Swap Meet. And you're like, but why?
Well, because that's such a big, you know, we were like here, and then you came back and you're like here. But you know what? I thought it was like, after we talked about it, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? Right. And we have like more ideas for next year to really make it the Washington State Swap Meet.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you got on board the idea, you totally dove into it. We're like, yeah, now we're going to do a whole thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to go all over the state and we're going to make a circuit. And I was like, yes, we're going to do it.
We weren't able to do it this year.
Right.
But yeah, now that we have a whole year to work on it, we're going to do it.
Right. So. I don't know who spurs and instigates who more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how you kind of get to greatness, like, or just continue your greatness, is when you have people who can push you in the right ways.
For sure.
Robb and I were kind of talking about that. Robb was on the show a little bit earlier, and we were talking about that a little bit. I said, I know that you believed in the project from the beginning, but you had concerns and you had questions. And I said, in that early part, when I went to that original eWeb meeting and presented the application for the grant, I don't think I had the answers fully in my head, because it was so new into the project.
Exactly. And we had to get that submitted so you would know if there was some additional funding or not. So I mean, we both left that meeting like,
okay, we got some work to do.
We didn't really think about that when we were like developing. I mean, we would have eventually, but it happened so quick. Like, we just didn't, talk about those points.
And it was really helpful, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I got out of that meeting going, okay, these are the areas that I need to focus on quickly and move forward. So it was a positive experience to have people point out the faults and the cracks in the process.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it can be painful at first, but then when you actually start processing it, it's good. So
sure. Yeah. And hey, we can always and all do better.
Oh, for sure. None of my events go smoothly, let me tell you that. But it's usually the back end where people don't realize it. So
right. That's great.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
and if people don't realize it, then that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, for Pangborn Festival flights, we were opening up your speakers the morning of.
Yep, because they were delivered at like 5 p.m. on Friday. And the mayor had to bring them.
Just tell me they arrived. Just tell me they arrived. Just tell me they arrived.
The mayor had to drive them up to the airport because we had like that dinner and dance the night before that we were putting together. And so she came up, dropped them off, met one of the airport crew that let her into the hangar to drop them off. And I'm like, please, God, please have all the parts.
Yeah.
And it did. And it worked out. You put them all together. And I was like,
it's just,
thank you.
And And that's really when I started getting to know Rob, because he was like my volunteer that morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you got Rob and oh man, I can't remember who the other lady's name was, but and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you want us to do? I'm like, start opening boxes.
I know, because I was off doing other stuff because you can't be everywhere.
You can't.
So, and that's
That was
why
one thing I learned.
I
It was
know.
a hard lesson learned.
we've
at
all been
swap meet.
there. Yeah.
Especially with sound equipment, right? That was
Yes.
the biggest thing, because that's what I do.
I know. And that's what I hire you to do for me. And then to
Yes.
watch you struggle with that on Friday, I was like, she's gotta hire this out. I know she can do it, but you can't when it's your own event. You just
I couldn't.
You have to have other people to do that stuff. You have to be there to oversee the whole idea and the whole picture.
Yeah.
So,
And it wasn't that I couldn't
Right.
do it. I know how to do it, but
You
it
just
was I
had-
couldn't focus on it.
because you had other stuff and people pulling you here and people
Yeah.
pulling you there. And yeah. And then by the time you get back, you'd be like, okay, where was I?
Where
like,
was I?
why are these not hooked up? Like,
It was awful. I mean, it was awful, but nobody really noticed. Some people
No.
did, because Raphael was there with La Pera and he was playing his music. And so there was something.
Right.
And it was the first day, and it was like, oh, well, maybe there just isn't going to be music. Like,
But how many swap meets and flea markets and craft shows do you go to where there's music like that? So
there is none.
none. No. So
Yeah.
people really didn't notice.
Right. So
So-
when the music started at 3 p.m. or whatever it was,
Hey, it got started.
it
That's all
got
that matters.
it got started in like just enough time for the Friday afternoon entertainment to go on.
Oh,
So
no. Lacey was messaging me because she had to leave to go get her daughter or something. And so she's like messaging me and she's like, is Elbow the Clown able to go on? And I'm like,
don't
literally just got it up and running and he's on right now, like within like 30 seconds of you getting the music on. And I'm like, we're good.
but nobody knew.
No.
It just looked like we got the entertainment on time.
Exactly. It was perfect timing.
I know.
Yeah.
So the one thing I learned was that I do need to hire out getting the sound hooked up, even though I can do it. I shouldn't.
You
do it
shouldn't do
in
it.
that.
Yeah.
In that situation. But I also, was reinforcing to my team that the number one rule is to not panic in any and all situations. Not everything is going to ever go the
No.
way you want it to go, but panicking always makes it worse.
Yes.
So when something goes wrong, the first thing you have to do is just go,
It'll all be okay. That's what Dell tells me all the time.
Dell.
So Dell, if you're
"Oh, love you,
listening,
Del." Yeah.
it'll be okay.
This is
That's
what
what he would tell me when I first started, because he's been like a 20-year volunteer
Yeah.
for Classy Chassis. And that first year, he's like, take a deep breath, it'll be okay.
This is what I tell my son and now my niece. I go, smell the flowers, blow out the candles. Smell the flowers, blow out the candles.
Yep. Yep. You
Yeah.
just have to clear your mind and then, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Whether-
There was one point in time. Okay, so an added level of frustration that you saw me go through that other people may have seen the residual effect of was that my husband, who is not normally right in front of me when I'm doing events, right? He's usually home with the kid or doing whatever. So when I am in the zone in work mode, I am in zone work mode. I do not have to deal with kid. I do not have to deal with my husband is there. So having to deal with husband in work mode was not good.
Right.
And he was right
He
next
was
to me
next to you. Yeah.
the entire weekend. His booth was right next to the stage.
Yeah.
That is a no-go from now on.
Good idea.
I love my husband. I am so in love with him. He is awesome.
But there's a reason why you shouldn't work with your spouse.
He did great at what he
Oh, yeah.
like he was carnival barker selling stuff. He is swap
Yeah.
meet superstar.
He was my least favorite vendor, let me tell you. He sent my kid home with so much stuff. I had to tell her
Your
no
kid-
more.
Your kids are playing dress up in
Oh
our
my goodness.
tent.
Yes. You want to see a photo that I took like Sunday night?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Oh, my kids are gonna. Well, my son is gonna hate me when I show you this because if you put it on the air,
So just one word about my husband. It would be like I'd be trying to do something and we had hotspot issues. We had a power. Oh my goodness.
those are your shoes.
Those are my shoes. You're
Yep, he had to try them on because Addie been wearing them all
son was
day.
wearing my shoes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
What did he walk around in them? Did he
No,
tell him?
he was.
You know what you tell him? You tell him it'll help his balance, which will help him in
Right.
baseball,
Yeah,
football, whatever he plays.
yeah. No, yeah. As soon as he saw that I busted him and took a photo, he was like, shoes off,
Done.
done.
Never again.
Yeah. Well, because
You gotta try.
Addie
I
and
mean,
her-
it's like a rite of passage, isn't it?
oh yeah. I mean, Addie and her little friend had brought home like 2 pairs of your shoes and like, oh, some of Addie was wearing the next day one of your cute little blouses and a skirt. And I mean, she's 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, they're almost too small on her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you've got several inches on her too. And I'm like, Nikki, fit this stuff? Like, because I think of her as 10 and you're an adult woman. But
I don't know. I've been so many sizes. I've been extra small to a 4X in my life. So, I have no idea. I have all kinds of clothes.
yeah, well, the dress that
Now
she
I have less clothes.
right. The dress that she brought home is super cute. But I'm like, okay, if you're like 4 or 6 inches taller than her, you probably couldn't have even bent over.
Oh. So okay, so
Uh,
that's why he was your least
That's
favorite
yeah. I love
vendor.
your husband's.
Yeah,
Ryan, you're
he
the
did.
best,
He was
but-
really fun vendor for the people.
Oh
But
yeah.
not a very fun vendor for me because I'd be up there with like my hotspot issues or whatever, and he'd like look over and he'd be like, "So what's your plan?
Yeah.
What's your plan, babe?" I'm like, "Stop."
I know. In his mind, I think he thought he was trying to help, but he should have asked, "What can I do to help you?"
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Not what's your plan,
Not
but how
what-
can
I'm
I
like,
help you?
I don't know. I'm literally trying to formulate a plan as we
right?
speak. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I
Oh.
felt bad because I had the city booth, and then Natalie and I both had our personal booth
Your
where we were selling
snuggables
stuff.
and what was Natalie's stuff called?
Hers is macrame.
yeah.
Nat's macrame.
Okay, Nat's
So,
macrame.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got to get back over there because Natalie was there just for our personal booth. And then since,
Well, that was not part of the deal. The part of the
Right.
deal was that you guys had the city booth and your personal booth
Yeah.
during the weekend. We weren't really supposed to be on duty.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
we
helped
were
out where
very
I
short
could,
staffed.
but
We were very short staffed. Like I thought we were gonna have so many more volunteers, and it just didn't happen that way. So,
we will next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people already signing up to be on our volunteer list,
Oh yeah.
and it's just it's just the way it was. I think for that in that aspect, we were great. Like for having a small staff, and I know that things fell through the cracks, and I know that some people ended up grumpy or unhappy because we missed a certain
But
few
I
things. Overall, I think people were happy
Yeah. The negatives that I heard weren't deal breakers at all.
Mm-mm.
They're growing pains. It was the first year. You'd never run an event that size. So, and I had never run an event like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mostly do car shows and, having a band down
we
at
learned
Valley Mall
so
Parkway.
much.
So yeah, this was a whole different ballgame for all of us.
Yeah.
And what worked for Classy Chassis didn't work for swap meets. And there's only one way to find that out, and it's by trying. So
And you knew that. You knew that. I don't always remember that going in. I want everything to be perfect the first time around. I have
Me
this
too.
vision. But as I get older, I'm like, no, we're not going to get it right the first time. Like there's no way you can get it right the first time. You just got
Yeah.
to keep moving, especially with something at this large caliber.
yeah.
You can't always get it right the first time, or you're
Or
just
the
not
5th
going
time or
right.
the 10th time. like you still learn and grow, and
There's so many moving parts.
and the world evolves too, so you have to like evolve with the times. And what worked last year, that's not going to work next year. So it's
And there's always things you can't anticipate.
Oh gosh, no.
So
Like the parking.
Oh my gosh, right? The parking. We're gonna work on it. But we
Well,
have a whole year to work on
yeah.
it, which is great.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything.
Well,
And
thank you for going along with it, and all the time and effort you put into it. And I know how hard it is. So
I hustled.
get it.
And I hustled. I don't think people really get it, because I would get like we would have a planning meeting, or I would get an email, or I'd be like, you should do this. And it would be like this list of people that I should contact, like you should. And it would be for Kids Zone or the Eco Fair or food trucks. It'd be like, you should do this. And I'd be like, okay. And I would try, do as much as I can't tell you how many emails, and wow, it's so much work.
It is.
But I feel pretty accomplished, and I definitely feel happy with the way that it turned out. And I tried to talk to Robb about doing it every weekend. He said, let's try and get a couple under our belt before we try and go.
The PC response.
Yeah, right. The city councilman response. But I know. Well, let's do it again.
Okay. Same time next year.
Second weekend in September. So September 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Yeah,
I'm
excited.
All right, me
It's
too.
gonna be fun.
I know, right?
Yeah, we'll see how many booths we have next year. Like for me and Natalie in the city.
Oh gosh. We're just gonna put like stick figures or like
I know
cardboard cutouts of the mayor in the city booth or something.
I know. Well, it turned into like we just sat behind the city booth because we had more room, and so then it would turn into at some point it's like when the kids market was going, because my daughter was also selling at the kids market.
Yeah. Oh gosh. No, you didn't have anything on your plate that weekend either.
And then her little friend helped her make all of her slime, and so she came and helped sell, and they split the profits and everything. So then her mom and her son, were hanging out with us too, which is, I love them. So, and then my cousin came from out of town to just kind of hang out in the sun for the weekend. And then at one point the mayor showed up to sit with us. And so we had like quite the little compound going back behind. And then like the lady next to us, Nina, who's selling candles, she like scoots her chair over because we couldn't hear anything because we were right next to the booth next to us that had a generator. So we had like this little crew back there, and we're all like, I was crocheting, my cousin was crocheting, and people just they come up to the city booth, but we're not selling anything. So I had a couple, like a lady from Seattle, and I was like, oh yeah, here's our flyer for our tree lighting event in December. And she's like, oh, I don't live here. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to mark that on my report.
Yeah.
We had a visitor from Seattle.
Yes. 100%.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. What I was going to say something. Oh yeah. And I can't not mention Natalie and you totally developing the kids zone and the kids market. That was not my idea. Okay. I cannot take credit. The kids zone was my idea. I was like, yeah, okay, let's do a kids zone. And then they're like, what do you want in the kids zone?
We were thinking activities at first. And then Natalie, well, what if we have a kids market? Brilliant.
It's so brilliant.
Yeah.
That brain, love it.
I know, me too. She came up with something at the recap meeting yesterday. And I was like, that's a great idea. She's only 19. And I'm like, you're killing it, kid.
Is she only 19?
Yeah, she just turned 19 in August.
Stop it.
I know. She's amazing.
She is amazing. Do not let her go.
I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you do, I'm going to hire her.
Okay.
Fair enough. No, she was wonderful and great. And I'm going to have to get her on and have a conversation with her one of these times. Like just me. I know she's been on and we had her on pre.
Right.
But really, she was she did the Slasky Gate conversation with us.
Oh yeah.
But this, yeah, because she came up with that idea and then totally ran with it. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
you got voluntold to do the
Yep.
kids market. And she
Yep.
did. And it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. And turns out we knew a lot of people who had kids that like to craft and sell stuff. And I think most of the kids were pretty happy with their turnout. Addie sold all but 5 of her slimes.
Wow.
She sold $348.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now I did take some of that for expenses. So we had to talk about,
right.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I probably
the lesson
spent
you
more
learn.
than I took from her, but that's okay. Cause that's what moms do.
Yeah.
And then she split what was left between her and her little friend, and they had a great time. They're already planning next year.
Awesome.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then she wanted to go to another market like the next weekend. Was it like Cashmere had one or something like that? And I'm like, we spent a whole day making slime for the swap meet. And I'm like, I need to recover from that experience.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
We're finally just like finding a place to put all the leftover product, and like I have nowhere to keep it. We have too many arts and crafts, so we have to,
There's
purge,
no
but
such
I
thing
know,
as
right?
too many arts and crafts.
You need to come look at my wall of all my yarn though.
I do. I should come over.
You should come see it.
Okay. I haven't been over your house in a long time.
It's been, Kellen was like 2, so 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now I have a 2-year-old.
I know. I remember Kellen was running around naked, and I'm like, just wait, one day you're gonna have a kid. And here you are, like running around naked. And he was, I think, did he climb up into the window when you were over? And he was totally naked.
Yeah.
Front window. I'm like, yeah, that's my kid.
Yep.
And now here you
It
are.
didn't faze me, but there wasn't at that time. There was no way I was thinking about having a kid.
Right.
Yeah. There was no way.
Yeah.
So how life changes.
I know.
But I'm glad that you're still in my life.
Me too.
I'm glad that hasn't changed.
Me too.
So this definitely was not enough of time or expression to show you how much I actually really do appreciate you and everything that you've done for Swap Meet. So I will just continue to find ways. What else does the City of East Wenatchee have coming up? Anything?
So we have our tree lighting event in December. It's December 7th this year from 6 to 8 p.m. Santa comes in. He's a personal friend of mine. So Santa comes in on a fire truck escorted by our police departments. And then Santa, when he gets to City Hall, helps the mayor, and they count down to the lighting of City Hall. And we have a big tree with the tree topper on it. And then when the lights come on, Santa's Village opens up, and we have like Macy's there to do letters to Santa.
Fun.
And for every letter they collect, then $1 goes back to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm not sure if it's still Make-A-Wish this year. It might be Boys and Girls Club. I'm not really sure. We're just now getting into planning the event because we've been busy with other things. And then we have the police department's usually there. The jail is there. The fire department is there with a booth. We have face painting. Massawa Sister City is there. And the library is there reading books to kids.
What about Christmas Carol karaoke?
So we have the Sterling Choir. They come and do caroling.
That's fun.
I know. Sorry.
Just always trying to push karaoke on everybody. That's all right. That's going to be great. I love that's a wonderful event. And it's hard to think about Christmas right now, but
I know it's right around the corner.
Stop it.
I know.
All right.
And there's photos with Santa too. So he sits in the fire truck, and so he's like over top of people as they stand underneath the vent. So it's like
cool.
The fire truck Santa experience.
I love it.
And then the following Saturday, Santa rides around town on the fire truck, and we play, Christmas music, and that's really fun.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to the holidays this year. They were kind of bummer for me last year. It was right after my mom passed.
Oh, yeah.
So this year, I don't know. I'm looking forward to.
Well, and Trenton is old enough now that he's going to get it.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is going to get it. So it's super exciting.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the best.
So
when my
we'll
kids
be
got
there.
that age.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Kellen was that age not that long ago.
No.
Naked.
naked.
All right.
He's still naked. What are you talking about? We had to yell at him last night. Go put some clothes on.
Oh, good. I'm glad my house is not the only one.
No.
All right, Trina. I love you.
Love you too.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right. We are at about 1:45. Thank you all for who is hanging with us today. You can always comment in your comment section and we'll see it here in the back end, hopefully. You never really know, but I see some people who are with us in the back end. Joy and Dell was on with us earlier. We're broadcasting live from Smart Nutrition. It's a healthy coffee shop. They do protein coffees, energy teas, protein donuts, and smoothies, acai bowls, churros and waffles, all that kind of good stuff. So they also have a studio off to the side here. So they have fit dance classes. So you'll see I'm wearing a Smart Nutrition shirt. When we did the swap meet, they all came out and did one of their fit dance classes. They were all wearing these pink shirts. So you can go back and see some of that over on the Washington State Swap Meets socials. They're part of that. But we got to hang here today for the show, which is fun. But I want to get Selena and Cirillo on to talk with me about this place, to talk about what makes it so cool, so special, what made them want to open it up. So come on, sit down with me. What flavor of protein donuts are you guys sporting today? Because I know it's like a different one every day, right?
Yeah. Okay, so basically the chocolate ones, we have them daily, but we changed. Sometimes we have the orange pineapple, the orange cranberries, and sometimes Tirilo goes like more into it and do like seasonal stuff,
like a pumpkin or something.
Yeah, he's now working on getting some pumpkin spice donuts.
That's what I like. I'm like a pumpkin spice freak. So good.
Yeah, but today we have the orange and pineapple and orange and cranberries.
All right, I'm gonna move this so we can see you.
All right.
There we go. And then like right behind you is your Smart Nutrition logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does like Smart Nutrition mean to you?
All right. It's like our baby, like our hub where we get to know a lot our customers. That feels like a family. You get
a lot of the same people that come in every day.
Yeah, after they come a couple of times, they become regulars, and we start getting to know more than them. And we like to build like a community with people that are looking or searching for the same goals: stay healthy, stay active, find ways to get into their meals, all the nutrients that sometimes we just can't through our daily.
Because when I was here earlier and I wanted something to drink, Cirillo remembered that my body doesn't like sugar.
Okay.
And I thought that was so impressive because I don't even remember telling him that. But he said, yeah, well, no, not a lot of sugar, right? And I said, yeah, I can't have my body doesn't like it. I'll get sick. And I can imagine he's like that, and you're like that with everybody that comes in here, because you get that feel. You get to know people, what they want, what they like, and that wants them to, you take an investment in people, right?
Yeah, and that's to get to know them, what their goals, what they're looking for, why they're here. Because if they come here, it's because they're trying to look for something healthier, or sometimes they don't even know. They just see the pictures on the outside of the window and they, oh, what is this? And we get to explain them, and some of them it feels like that's what they're looking for. Others they say, oh no, this is not what I'm looking for. And that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. So we just here to help the community get more meals, or they're more nutrient that to help you stay healthier and in a regular and then active. Yeah.
I know. I always forget how much it helps. Like, because I am on the go all the time, I always forget that, I'll just pick up a fast food or pick up some kind of bar at the convenience store, or energy drink, and I'll do that maybe a few days in a row, and then wonder why I feel sluggish or headaches or something. And then swap meet weekend, you guys were there, and I did not drink a lot of energy drinks. I drank stuff from you, the Smart Nutrition energy teas. I had the protein coffee, the protein donuts, and between you and Carmen Som from Humble Bee Collective, and she in the morning was giving me vitamins, right? And my energy level was up, even though I was doing so much. I'm like, how could I still have energy when I'm doing so many things? And the only thing I could really attribute it to is that I was actually putting good in, so I was getting good out. And when I put crap in, I get crap out. But I always forget that. I'm like, nah, I don't give as much importance to it as I probably should.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And most of us, that's how, or before we start doing this, that's how we are. We just get whatever it's there, whatever is like you're saying. It's on our way. We had it at home, or we go out and it's there. But yeah, we're here to help the community get.
So what was it? What was your diet like before?
Okay, this started a long time ago when I was like probably around 13, 14 years ago, when I was overweight, stay-home mom, trying to look ways to lose some weight.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the healthy, active lifestyle.
Right.
I didn't know nothing about giving my body good nutrients. All I knew is I'm hungry, I need to feed myself.
Yeah.
I need to get something to eat. But I never, in my mind, never was that I'm not giving my body the right, the vitamins, the protein, the good carbs. That was not in my mind. I was just,
what were you eating like normally? Was it a lot of what you eat like culturally? Was there, because I know for me, like Italian, I grew up on pasta and sauce and meatballs and very rich food. And I grew up basically a plumpy kid, right? I was always very chubby and overweight, even as an adult.
Yeah, well, like you say something about our culture, and yeah, that's how we were raised, with meats, rice, beans, tortillas, bread. It was too much carbs. I can now see it.
So many carbs.
Yeah, one. So
that's the same. So many carbs.
Yeah. And maybe later, before, they were not an issue. You were more active, and here you get for us here you get car. You wherever you go, you just get in, sit down, get whatever you need, and sit. And then back then there, you have to walk 3, 4, 5, whatever blocks you need to go to do to get whatever you need to get it home. So yeah, it was really hard for me to to stay in a healthy weight. Now I see it a healthy way. Before I was just trying to lose weight.
Right.
I don't care about the healthy. I just wanted to lose some weight. And that's how we start looking at stuff or things. I try so many things.
What are some of the things that you tried in the past to lose weight?
To lose weight, to stop eating.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. We all think that that's going to work.
Yeah. Stop eating. That's mostly what I'm doing. Crazy. Now I can see it. Crazy diets, like sticking to eating certain foods.
Yeah.
And only certain amounts of that kind of food. And I remember one that was like an hour. I think it was crackers, 5 crackers, 2 slices of cheese, and a black coffee. And later on, nothing. And then your lunch, I remember I was eating like 2.
It's the Polywana cracker diet.
Yeah. And and I did another one where I have to make like a soup with cabbage, carrots, celery, and that's all I eat. I couldn't eat nothing else. I was hungry, get a bowl of soup. Get hungry, get a bowl. And I end up really tired. So yeah, I did so many things until I found this supplement that's what we use here to make our shakes, make our donuts, because we have a baked goods protein. So until I found that, I stuck to the plan. I liked it. It was good. I like it. So I have been able to stay on a weight that I like, that I feel comfortable in.
So yeah, it is partially, you try all these crazy things, and I've tried a bunch of crazy things, and some things for me in the past may have worked, but I don't think it was very like sustainable for me for like the rest of my life, because I was like, I can't just eat cheese and crackers forever, right? Like nobody wants to do that. So for me, as I grew older, I needed to find something that was comfortable for me to incorporate into a very like crazy, weird lifestyle. And so with supplements that you use to make the goods, or make the drinks, make the protein donuts and things like that, certainly that what you make here in the shop is not the only thing you eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? This helps supplement your diet with extra drinks, and like let's drink an energy tea that might have some vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes or whatever in it that would be better than actually picking up an energy drink from the convenience store that has just crap in it or whatever. It's not going to help you or your cells. Apparently, cells. I have to start thinking about my cells now. But also pairing that up with moderation in your diet and things like that. So how did you learn about that?
Okay, when we started attending seminars where they will be talking about nutrition, and all what we have been focused on is on a balance. Try to get because we have so much of some foods and so little of other ones.
Right.
So like we're talking earlier about that, all these carbs and this little vitamins, protein, and it's not a balance in there. So we're trying to balance. We can still eat whatever we like, bread, tortillas, but we also incorporate more fruit, more vegetables, more protein, and decrease of the others that were out of balance. That's all.
So you have kids though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
My kids now, the youngest is 15.
Okay. Youngest is 15.
Oldest, 23.
And 23. And how many do you have?
4.
4. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So how has this affected them? So do they still eat lots of rice and beans and all that? And how hard was it if they don't, like if they've transitioned into this more balanced meal? I know with a 2-year-old, very difficult to try. Like if he has the option between rice and beans and cheese, or a bunch of broccoli, he's going to go for rice and beans and cheese all day long. How do you deal with that?
Well, it was not easy, but it was, we started like one day, we went to a seminar and they say, I'm still sure that the doctor said they used to have a place where you can put all your junk food.
Yeah.
And we came back home and it was there. We have a special place where we put our crackers, whatever, all the juices.
Crackers is considered junk food?
Some, not all of them. Some of them has a lot of sugar in it, zero nutrients. So there's some that are good. So the ones that we have, they were not so good. A lot of sugar in them, a lot of stuff that the kids doesn't eat.
Right.
So we start taking those out and not bringing back at home. Once in a while, or when we go out, we go visit family members, or we let them be. We're not gonna get into things. But we started making a little bit changes. It was not like, okay, we're done with this. And at the day, we still eat whatever we like, rice, beans. But we try to get that into that balance. It's not that we don't eat it. It's just that we eat.
Did they fight you on it? Come on, they had to.
Yeah, I remember my daughter. She was like 10, maybe around 10, and we decided that we're not gonna bring home any more of the cow's milk. We're gonna start bringing soy milk, almond milk.
Yeah,
and then she won't drink it.
Yeah.
And I tell her, okay, you can drink water if you don't like this milk, but we're not gonna bring back the other milk.
Yeah.
And eventually she started drinking. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. You just okay. All right.
Yeah, but it was like little by little.
I am gonna get some parenting advice. Okay. Whew, I like your style. I do. I like it. I think you need your own podcast. Don't laugh. You don't have to. I think it's Spanish speaking podcast. We could get you a Spanish speaking podcast, because this with the healthy eating for family, getting my kids to eat, getting myself to eat more healthy, consistent, knowing what to eat in a balanced meal. I'm 40 years old now. I just turned 40, and I want to be able to know those things for myself, and be able to instill that knowledge as a regular upbringing for my child, just so it's not something that he has to relearn as an adult, like I have to. I want it to just be a normality for him.
Yeah.
So can you help me do that?
Sure. That's something that we heard too there in our trainings. The best, how do you say in English? Like heritage, or like your best that you can leave to your legacy. Your legacy. To leave to your kids being a healthier kids.
Yeah.
Because you cannot buy that. You have to work for it. You have to learn how to keep it up. And we're really proud with our youngest one. He's 15 and he's all into sports. He watch what he eats. We meal prep. He meal preps, and that's why he get it from. And I really like to see that in him.
I think I can improve in this area. I do okay, but I think I can definitely improve. And I think you can help. Also, you have this studio here that you utilize for your fit dance classes, and bringing in a cardio aspect and some weight training, some basic weight training aspect. So not only are you getting in vitamins, nutrients, adding protein on a nutritional level, you're bringing in education of food and balance on a mental level, right? But then you also bring in physical cardio and weight training on a physical level. So you're doing a lot in here in this. You're utilizing this space very thoughtfully, doing good things. So tell me about the classes.
Okay, how we start the classes, I remember myself before, I don't feel confident going to a gym. If I go to the gym, then I will just be in there watching and not knowing what to do and eventually leaving it.
Yeah.
Or just going to the treadmill. That's all there.
Yeah.
That's all what I did. So what I like about offering this here, they feel comfortable. And then eventually I have found, now I found a gym that I really like.
Yeah.
I like to go to CrossFit. That's my.
A lot of people like CrossFit.
I like that one. I like it in there. So after they start coming here, a couple times I have invited a couple from the ladies that they wanted more.
Yeah.
So I have been inviting them there, and now they feel more comfortable, and some of them haven't stayed there. So I feel like this is the way to introduce, just to introduce them to an activity. Right. And if they wanted more, they eventually start looking for more.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing too.
That is good. I really enjoy that description of it, because it's not like you're offering a full on gym experience here. You want, I mean, you're allowing people a safe space to start to move their body if they're just not used to doing that. And then they could do that for as long as they want to. You know, it's a free class. If you come in and get a drink, you get a free class. And then it eventually, I mean, you could do that as long as you want, as long as you're having fun and you keep on moving. But if you need more, then there are gyms. Like you said, you go to the gym, you have a regular regimen. So that's nice. And there's a camaraderie. I saw that at Swap Meet. Okay. So Smart Nutrition was one of our sponsors, helped us make Swap Meet happen. So they came out and they were offering, selling their energy teas and offering up their protein donuts and things. And I'm so glad you guys were there, because you kept me going all weekend. Oh my goodness. Thank you. But you had stage time. So 10 o'clock, was it 10 or 11? 10 o'clock 10. On Sunday morning. The team, like you rolled in deep with the hot pink shirts, the black tights, and there was like 10 or 15 of you. I don't know how many there were.
Around 10.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just, the homie girls rolled up. We put on the music and it was awesome. So much energy. And the vibe was really cool. They did this whole day. I didn't know that it was going to be like that. I said, hey, do you want to lead one of your classes in the morning on Sunday? And we went, yeah, let's do it. But then she rolled deep with like 10, 15 people doing the dance class. I was like, yes, so cool.
Yeah.
And I even got out there and I did it for a little bit when I had the time, and got some other people out there. I told you I have some video. There was this one girl. She's probably like 10, 11 years old. She was kind of off to the side sitting. She saw me doing it. She started doing it as she was sitting down with her arms. And then she got up and she was standing off to the side and started kind of doing it. And then I had to go off and do something. And by the time I had circled back around, maybe about 10 minutes later, she was right in the middle of the line there, because Carmen had jumped off and was doing it in the grass in front of the stage. You had done that at one point, and she was there in the line in front of the stage, like full on doing the moves. And I was like, yes. You know, she dipped her toe and then she was full on in. I just thought, yeah, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
And you were just one part of this lineup of, you know, multicultural and different kinds of events, you know, activities that we had on the stage and all around the festival. So You all jumped on the swap meet wagon a little bit late in the process, but what is your thought? What was your thought of the event and being there and seeing all the people? What did you think?
We really liked it, and we didn't really we wanted to be part of the event. Carmen told us about you and how cool you are, and then that this is what this thing is coming to town, and we say, yeah, we should join. And I really like seeing everything that was in there, all the vendors being so kind to each other, and I really like it. And we start sharing with people, and people say, we didn't know. We next time they want to be part of the event too. So maybe by the next year we're gonna have a lot of more.
We're gonna have
vendors.
so much more. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but it was a good experience.
Thanks.
We really liked it.
Yeah, we loved having you be a part of it.
Yeah.
And once you decided that you wanted to be a part of it, I just went, like you talk about that community, building this kind of community hub here. That's how I feel about the swap meet. It was, you decided that you wanted to be a part of it. And I just came down and was like, yes, you're now in the swap meet community, right? That's our own little hub. It's our own little family. And everybody is so nice to one another. And if somebody needs something, you make it happen,
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So you're part of the family now.
Yeah, we
right?
are.
You're in.
Yes.
Cirillo, do you want to come over and get on camera?
Yeah.
Talk to me?
Yes. Come
Yes.
here. All right. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank
you
you.
for having us at this one meet, and thank you for being here today.
Well, I think we are going to see a lot more of you. I'm going to
right.
get you to do a podcast.
Okay, yeah, you need to show me how.
I will. All right. Come on, my man. I save the best for last. Look at you. Thank you for letting me be here today in your store.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you here, and of course, like invite the other people that was before us. So it's good to hear from them, and especially what they said about the community, what they said about the city, what they said about the next projects coming up for next year. So we're excited.
I'm excited.
And we're ready for it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready for it too. And I wanted to bring people here that had not been here before too, so that they could try it for the first time.
Yeah, that's another good opportunity, and thank you for that, because our model of business is just go to talk people by people,
Yeah.
and or handing out some coupons or go to business and give them some gift cards. There is one way to let them know we're here. And our purpose is, like you said, to let them know what we offer, like all the products, high in protein, good in nutrients. And I think today's day, people is already like waking up and, hey, I need to do something for, if they see it the healthiest way, and we're here for it. Give them what they're looking for, that tasty good and not so many on calories, and that's what we.
Yeah, that's hard. It's a hard combination to get to something that high protein, is good for you, might have caffeine, tastes good, low sugar, low calories. You're like, this is way too many boxes to tick. But that's what I want, right?
Yeah.
I want my caffeine to have low sugar and protein. Like, what?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know we can drink coffee with protein at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not water than that coffee.
Yeah. You were the one who called me to get involved in swap meet, and I was like driving past here. I didn't even know that this is where this was. I was like driving past here, going home one day, and you called, and I said, "Where are you?" And you said, "Valley Mall Parkway." And I literally pulled out of my driveway, turned around, and came back down here to talk to you.
Yeah, because when like my wife said before, when Carmen told us about this event was coming up and shared the application with us, I tried to fill it out, but I have some issues, and I go, man, I sent a message to Carmen, says, you know what, I cannot fill it out, so they asked me for too much stuff, and I'm not so good on that, and she said, okay, I'm going to send your phone number, her phone number, and she can help you with that. So that's why I called you and contact you, and
we made it happen. Yeah, I just showed up and I said, all right, let's do this. We'll make it happen right here, right now. And we did.
Yeah.
And that was really the start of it. What did you think of, what was your swap meet experience like through the weekend? You were there for quite a bit of the weekend.
Yeah, we there for the whole weekend, and I really like it because once you met other people, I have a chance to talk to other vendors, and they would tell me their experience from the first day, the second day, and the third day. And of course, a lot of people don't know about this event, what's going on that weekend. Plus, there were 2 more events on the city around, so there was a little bit of heat. But for myself, I like it, one, because I met more people, and we share information about what we're doing, what's our goal, and to let people know about. And I mean, it's one way to help each other and to support another business in one way.
I would have to say you were the most talked about vendor of all the food vendors, of all the foodish vendors. So many people came to talk to me or mentioned your products through the weekend. And it was amazing. People loved it. Just so much positive feedback. And I was one of them, to just, because how many of your drinks did I consume through the weekend? Like at least 3 or 4 a day. And it would just be like, hey, just give me something. Or I had special requests, or I was getting them for other people, right? I was bringing them the Raphael or my Grayson or Lacey, or was trying to give them to, people, trying to keep them hydrated and happy. And I called you our swap meet superstar vendor for the weekend, because you kept a lot of people going, and you were the most talked about for sure. You need to do snow cones with your product.
That would be a good idea,
right?
Just figure it out, make them out, and I used to be a chef, so I really like to cook, and I really like to play in the kitchen with stuff.
Do you really?
Yeah. Before we started this business, I used to be a chef. I started cooking in Mexico at the age of 17 years old.
Wow.
And my last job here was in Pateros.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work there for my last job. My last job there was for 10 years almost. So when we started doing this, I said, well, I have to use my tools and my knowledge.
Is that why you make the donuts and wow?
Yeah. If I told you the story about the donuts, it was funny because we tried to make it at home first before we started here, and they came too flat and not so good, and I was, oh my God, I almost cried the first couple of times, and then I have to keep going, and figure it out, one thing, adding this, more ingredient of this or less of this, maybe more egg or less water, until we find out.
So you didn't have a recipe, you made up the recipe yourself.
For the most part.
Yeah. Cool.
So it's I know.
I had no idea you were a chef. What kind of food is your favorite? What is your favorite dish?
I like a lot baking, but also I like to pasta. Pasta, seafood.
Cirillo. You're talking to an Italian, right?
But I don't cook that much anymore.
So
but I used to.
It was my birthday last week, right?
I didn't know that. Oh,
yes.
Happy birthday then.
Thank you. It was a big one. I've turned 40. So does that warrant some pasta from you for my birthday?
Yeah, I could.
Oh! I am such a foodie. I love food. I do. It's like my love language. But that's really cool. Do you still cook a lot at home?
Yeah.
Did you have to modify the way that you cook?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Especially when we're into some challenges or some transformation challenges, definitely I have to make special menu, or like she mentioned it before, we have to prep meals.
Yeah.
And that is the balance right there. So
do you guys cook together, like cook your meals together? Or is it usually you or
yeah, we do together. Yeah.
Oh, that's
we
nice.
do together. Some, I put some ideas, she put other ideas, and bring it all together.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm coming to your house. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a cooking podcast. Right? This is how you cook for yourself. This is how you can modify it for your kids.
Right. Yeah.
I like it. We're going to make it happen.
That's a good plan.
It is a good plan. I'm the, look who you're talking to here.
Yeah.
I've got lots of plans. But as we said earlier, I follow through. So I think this is a good idea and you guys are the ones to do it. I mean, I already said I bring the donuts home to my kids and they think they're getting they are getting a treat because it tastes good.
Yeah.
But they are also getting some vegetables usually.
Right. Yeah.
Because I pick the ones with the vegetables, not with the chocolate.
Well, yeah, kids, it's hard for the kids to introduce them in this type of product because they taste used to be regular, like sugary and yummy, and we offering that.
Yeah.
Different is not as much sugar as the market, the regular market.
What made you decide to do a storefront?
To what?
To do a store, to open up, to not just because you said you were a chef before this. How did you get to a point where you're like, we can open up a store?
Well, this it's been it's still there, one of my dream or goals, and always thinking about to open just like a healthy bar, healthy restaurant.
Yeah.
With different type of salads, different type of healthy sandwich or something different. And in fact, I have we met a friend that we always talk about it, and she said, yeah, let's make it happen. And but we always just talk, but we haven't exactly going through. But we've been with the idea of why not sometime do something like that, because I think in the city needs something with different choices.
Oh, it definitely does. We're gonna get you one of those like inflatable dudes. You know what I'm talking about? These guys that go out on the street, right? Just to show people where you are. Once you know where it is, you're golden. You'll never miss it ever again. It's just like that first time that you need to find a place. Valley Mall Parkway, next behind a 7-Eleven across from Joe's. You'll see it. It's called Smart Nutrition. And then once you come in here and you see this kind of cool vibe, like look at this wall. It's so cool with your mural of the shakes and everything. It is a very cool spot. So at least I want people to come down and check it out. I want to learn more about you two because you're so interesting. You're interesting that you build this family of people that come and you get these repeat customers. And first time I met you, Cirillo, you spent 80% of the time bragging about your wife.
Yeah.
And how proud you are of her and that she has spurred this journey for you. And I love that. And you have jumped on her journey and it is now your journey. And now you're supporting her and so proud of her. to do this.
Yeah, because in projects like that or any project to involve into our shop, we wanted to be together. I don't want to take any decision without let her know, and I'm pretty sure she does the same way. So we're team.
Yeah.
Besides husband and wife, we're teamwork.
You are a team.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. When I met you, I guess after I heard you what was going on and what was the offer for the Swami, goes, man, wait a minute, she needs to hear this. just wait here for a few more minutes. She's on her way.
I know, she's coming from Costco. I'm like, is she at Costco? She's going to be there forever. I can't wait that long.
I make her, I send her a message. Where are you at? Oh, I'm on my way. Okay, hurry up, because here's Nikki with
yeah, you fed me until she got here. So yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah,
it has been really awesome getting to know you. And both of you, honestly, it's been awesome. So I look forward to it. I'm glad that you got involved with Washington State Swap Meet and excited to see where it goes from here. And thanks for, what is anything that you want people to know before we wrap up today about smart nutrition?
Well, just like we said at the beginning, just come over and check it out, give it a try, and let them know that we're here to provide mostly what they wanted and the health way, but also we want to be part of the community, build a community offering what we have here.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone will be interested in come and join us as our workouts, that will be completely welcome.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you, Cirulo.
Yeah,
thank you for letting us do our show here today. Yeah. We'll be back, I'm sure. All right. I'm going to wrap things up. I do want to mention you gave us this. Oh, it's upside down. Smart Nutrition is helping eliminate barriers for the Brave Warrior Project. They're going to be donating $1 of every tea or shake that is bought on Fridays. So that's today. So that will be happening. They are open Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays, 5:30 to 1. Sundays, 8 to 1. Right here, 920 Valley Mall Parkway, East Wenatchee. There is the phone number if you have any questions. And $1 of every tea or shake on Fridays is going right to the Brave Warrior Project. And if you're not familiar with the Brave Warrior Project, go back maybe a couple of months. And we did an entire episode over at the Brave Warrior Project and got to talk with them about what they do over there. And they are helping out those with disabilities and doing some very fantastic work. Okay, that's time for us to go. We are way over time, I know, but there was just a lot of information and I didn't want to cut anybody short. And I know it was just, I could talk to each of them. I spent 2 hours with each one of my guests today. So, maybe in the future we'll do some extended interviews and put them up on the Supercast community as exclusive content, because we have some amazing people in our community that are doing great work. And I want to thank everybody that was involved with the Washington State Swap Meet. We are going to be back next week. Yes, we will. And I'm not sure exactly where we will be broadcasting from, but we have a couple of different options. So keep following us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of our outlets. And also we have, we're going to be re-upping our email subscription newsletters and that. So we'll be sending out some regular updates. So get signed up for our email subscription list, because that's going to be back active here pretty soon. And let's all send good mojo vibes Grayson's way, because we hope that he gets rest and recuperates and convalesces quickly. Thanks, guys. You can catch up on past episodes of What's Up Wenatchee over on our YouTube page or on Spotify for podcasters. And we'll be back next week. Thanks, guys. I love you. Peace. Peace out, everybody.